Hey, fellow tennis nerds, as the rain is pouring down outside, I'm going to take a look at the Australian Open round 2, give you some predictions, talk a little bit about gear as well. It seems like Iga Swiatek has changed. I correct myself from last time. That's what I've heard now, checking some more sources. But otherwise, there's not been that much about gear. One thing I wanted to mention is I want to hear your opinion about this. Do you think Andy Murray and, for example, Stan Wawrinka, two guys that still play 95 square inch rackets, should play with more power, should try a more powerful racket? We do know that Andy tried a 99 square inch version of his PT57A, flexible 99 square inch 1619 pattern racket. He did do that for a while. 2 seasons ago, and then I think, well, what I've heard at least is that Ivan Lendl came in and said, hey, keep playing with your normal racket, you can still do it. He had some good results that season, but now it's been pretty depressing, some of his results, and he lost in straight sets against Etcheverry. Something I predicted to go 5 sets. I predicted an Etcheverry win, but I didn't know it was going to be this easy, of course. Keen to hear your thoughts. Something I discuss with different people all the time, like whether a bit more power from the racket can help. Some players just add some weight to the racket. They tweak a little bit. Rafa over the years have added some weight, just a little bit of lead tape at 12 o'clock to get more easy power on his shots. While some play close to stock, you might have seen Alcaraz and Agassi talk about Alcaraz racket, and Agassi said like, oh, the ball is going to go to the sky if I play with this, because it's pretty much a stock form racket. That's what Carlos said as well. It's the same one you buy in the store pretty much. So he plays very light, and Mari plays very heavy. And maybe you don't have to go light. You can find something in the middle, but maybe like a Gravity Pro 1619 could be something for Mari to have tried instead. Just to get a bit more power, something he can get confidence to play aggressively. Same with Stan the Man, maybe to have a bit bigger head size could have helped him at times. Obviously, it's not easy to change a racket. You know that, guys. If you're out there and you're playing with control rackets, then you go to power. I'm trying to transition to power rackets. It's very difficult. It takes time. Muscle memory is there. So I'm not saying that it's easy for the pros, but we did see Federer do it, and it did really help him to stay relevant and win some more Grand Slams towards the end of his career. So he switched obviously from the 90 to the 97. So that's one example. And I think we're going to see more of these examples that need bigger head sizes. On the other hand, we have Novak Djokovic still playing with a 95. He has opened up the string pattern a bit to 18-19. It is slightly longer than standard length, but he has done very small adjustments. And maybe that's enough to do small adjustments, but maybe some tweaking can help the players to get a bit more free power, because tennis is fast these days, and you need to defend. And if you're a little bit older, you're not probably as fast around the corners as you are when you're 25 or 30. All right, so that's a little bit of a tangent. Let's have a look at the men's draw for round 2. Big kudos to Prismic. I actually said that he would take a set, and I was right, so that was good. He didn't win, which hardly anyone does against Novak Djokovic, but impressive. Djokovic has Poprin. It's not an easy opponent. Poprin plays at home. Big strokes. Good serve. Still, Novak should come through, but I still think he might lose a set in this one as well. Poprin is a dangerous player, so it's not the easiest draw actually for Novak. Then we have Monfils Etcheverry. Etcheverry in good form. Monfils also got through Hanfman in straight sets, so this will probably go down to the wire in my estimation. I would say 5 sets. Monfils is a fighter, but I do believe Etcheverry is moving slowly upwards in the ranking. So I would say Etcheverry 5 sets. We have Mannarino, who got through Stan the Man in 5 sets. Mannarino, always dangerous, lowest tension on tour. Jaume Munar, tough player. He was predicted to maybe do more with his career than he's done so far, but you can never count him out. I would still pick Mannarino here as the C20 in 4 sets. Christopher O'Connell plays Ben Shelton. I think Shelton really started well, defeating Bautista Agut in 3 sets, so I would predict him to win straight sets against O'Connell. Taylor Fritz plays Hugo Gaston. Lucky loser Hugo Gaston, who got a spot there. And Taylor Fritz struggled in his first round, 5 sets. Will maybe struggle a little bit with Gaston as well, as he's a tricky player with a lot of drop shots and some antics. But I believe Fritz will come through in 4 of this one. Fabian Marochan from Hungary, talented player, beat Alcaraz at some clay court event. Which one was it? I don't really remember. Against Francisco Cerundolo. Cerundolo PT57A user, high swing weight, big strokes. I do think that he will be a bit too good for Marochan, but Marochan is great, so can be a fun match to watch. Lorenzo Musetti is playing Luca Fanache. That's an interesting match as well. Fanache is a very talented player. I think I was incorrect when I said he plays with H22. He actually plays with a Steam 99, if I'm not incorrect. So, or is it a Steam 100? So here is a Steam, and it has these white grommets, the Steam BLX 100, this one, the Raducanu, Anisimova, Badosa, and you see those 4 main grommets here, and that's what makes it. So yeah, I really like this. It's a good racket. I have 2 of those. Really nice sticks. Musetti or Fanache, 5 sets. I will go with for Musetti because I like his style a bit more, but I don't really have any scientific data on that one. Jordan Thompson plays Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas was changing his serving stance in the first round. That's a bit interesting. He's very open to trying new things. I don't know if that helps him get more power or something, but I think he would be too good for Thompson. You know, I think that's just a level difference. Yannick Sinner against De Jong, a new player. De Jong from Netherlands. Sinner should win in straights, I would say. I don't know much about De Jong, but I think Sinner is a bit too good. Galan, Sebastian Baez, tricky match to predict. Baez won from retirement against JJ Wolf. Galan is a tricky player, got through in 5 sets against Kubler. Yeah, I would say Baez is the better player there. Tiafoe against Mahach. Mahach is very, very good. He's kind of under the radar player, but still, you know, I would say Tiafoe, but 5 sets. This is going to be a long one. Kovacevic did it, got through there against Tavilo. Very impressive 5-set win. But Khachanov, whose racket I'm going to make a video about very, very soon, will be too strong. I think he's going to go through in 4 sets, even against an informed player like Kovacevic. We have Deminor against Arnaldi. Arnaldi, talented Italian player with the radical. Deminor got through Raonic in a match that Raonic had to retire in, despite winning the first set. Deminor has too much game, I think, if in a 5-setter. I would say this goes 5 sets. Arnaldi is a very, very talented guy. Then we have Pavel Kotov against Kobolli, also two up-and-coming players in the draws. I would say Kobolli in this one, who got through Jari, 5 sets. Kotov won against Rindeknecht, so both players coming in with some momentum, 5-set wins, confidence, but we will see how their bodies hold up. But I would say Kobolli in that one. Sebastian Korda against Halis from France. Tough one. Korda got through in 5 sets. I told you that Vitko Priva would be a tricky opponent. I put an upset alert on that. Didn't really quite happen. And I think Korda now will go through this one at least. Then we have a tough one. We have Eubanks, won easily against Taro Daniel. Eubanks, obviously, with a huge serve. He won Mallorca last year against Andrei Rublev. And that one could be interesting. Rublev really had to fight against Seiboth Wild, or how you now pronounce it in Portuguese. But I would say Rublev, but not an easy match. 4 sets. We have Rune against Casso. This will be a weird one to pronounce. But I would say Rune, the French guy, is a wild card. Arthur Fils, Griekspoor surprised, I think, many by beating Safiulin in 5 sets. Tough one for Roman, who won for her 2 sets. But that's the thing with 5-setters and Griekspoor. We know he's a very, very strong player as well. So that was a tough loss for Roman, but he will fight back. Fils got a little bit of an easier match against Vesely, lost the first set, but then got into groove and won. So I would say Fils here in 4 sets. Hugo Humbert, he did win against Goffin in 4 sets. Should beat Chang as well, I think. I would say 4. Jakob Mensik, as I predicted, would beat Shapovalov. That is happened as well in straight sets. That was a bit easier than I thought. But now he comes up against Hurkacz. And Hurkacz is a guy you can never count out. So I would say Hurkacz winning that match. And then we have Dimitrov versus Kokkinakis, and that's a great match. Dimitrov did win against Fucsovic, keeping his form and maintaining his game. Very, very nice to see. I'm a Dimitrov fan. Kokkinakis is a hometown hero and fun to watch, but I don't think he will get through an informed Dimitrov. So Dimitrov in 4 sets there. We have Nuno Borg against Davidovich Fokina. Fokina is a fighter, but both won in 3 sets. I will go for Kina in 5 sets here. Have to fight through. Borg is a up-and-coming player as well. Ogier Aliassime played kind of a chokeathon against Team. There were both signs of nerves in that match. Both players have struggled recently. Team is slowly coming back to some kind of form, but not maybe the form that won him a Grand Slam. Auger-Aliassime was good in the beginning, but then dropped off a bit. But against the Grenier, I think he's too good. So I would say Aliassime 4 sets. Then we have Rusevori, Medvedev. It's going to be a lot of long baseline rallies, two very solid players. But yeah, Medvedev has a bit more game, I would say, than Rusevori. Zverev got through Kupfer, saw that today. Not too troubled by that, although it's a tough opponent. Against Luca Klein, qualifier, I would say he wins that one pretty comfortably. We have Alex Mikkelsen against Leheshka. Leheshka did win in straight sets, coming with a title, his first ATP Tour title on the warm-up tournament. Mikkelsen, tough player, good serve, but I would say Leheshka 4 sets. Seppieri and Cameron Norrie. Seppieri is also one of these young Italians that's coming through. Italian tennis is at an all-time high. Cannot probably beat Cameron Norrie with his tricky game, so I would say Norrie in 4 sets. Then we have Max Purcell playing against Casper Ruud, and I think Ruud is back in business. Now, he only gave Ramos Vignolas 5 games, and that's very impressive. So I have high hopes for Ruud in this event. I think he can go pretty far. It's a little bit of a dark horse in my head there, so I think he will win it straight sets. Tommy Paul also started really well. Easy win against Barrère. And he plays Jack Draper, who had to kind of struggle a bit more against Giron. Yeah, so this one is a tough one. This is a 5-setter. I think Tommy Paul will go through. But yeah, Jack Draper is tough as well. So yeah, this would be a fun one to watch for sure. Kecmanovic versus Struff. Struff got through in 5, Kecmanovic in 4. I think Kecmanovic is in a little bit better form than Struff. Slightly easier match. So I will go Kecmanovic in 4 sets. Nagal, qualifier, got through Bublik in straight sets. With Bublik, you never know which Bublik shows up. And he's playing against Zhang with his Pure Drive 98 wildcard. Very difficult to predict. I would say Zhang. I think Zhang is a very strong player. He beat also Mackenzie McDonald, which was impressive, I would say. With Bublik, it's hard to say if it was impressive or not, depending on the mood he showed up to the court in. Sonigo, he beat Evans at the time of talking to you today, and Alcaraz beat Gasquet pretty comfortably after a tough first set. So that is the men's draw, my predictions. Let me know yours in the comments below. Some exciting tennis matches, not like a super blockbuster in this round perhaps, but fun enough. Świątek did win against Kenin, but she did not get like a nice prize for that. She actually has Danielle Collins, who's a fighter and can cause problems, but Świątek is, into the tournament, will be better. I think Świątek in straight sets. And we have Kessler, Noskova. Kessler beat Ferro in the first round, 3 sets. It was impressive. Didn't expect that. I would say Noskova there. Svitolina, Torlova. Svitolina I predicted to go far. She did start pretty well, 6-2, 6-2, so I think she will win in straights. Siniakova, Golubic. That's a tougher one to predict. Could go either way, in my opinion. I would say Siniakova in 3 sets, but not easy to predict. Then we have maybe the blockbuster of the round, or you can argue Ostapenko, who was very good and is keeping up her momentum from winning the title before against home favorite Tomjanovic. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I think Ostapenko will keep going, and that's what I predicted in my previous talks. Then we have Clara Tauson, the talented Dane, versus Azarenka. That's really like an interesting age gap in that match. Yeah, I would say Clara Tauson is going to create the upset there based on the seedings. Emma Navarro should beat Cocciaretto, but that's a tough one to predict. But I would say Navarro there in 3 sets. Gracheva, I don't know much about from France, but Jastremska had an amazing match. Gave only 3 games to Vondrousova. So, yeah, Jastremska to go further for sure there. Straight set win for her in my prediction. Blinkova, also very impressive start, winning against Buxa in only dropping 6 games. Rybakina had some issues in the first set, but got through Pliskova in the end. I would say Rybakina in straight sets. I do believe her to win the event, so I have to keep going with that. Tatjana Maria against Paolini, very tough. Maria is one of those that's just been around a long time, very experienced player. But I would say Paolini there, the young Italians are coming. Arantxa Rus versus Kalinskaya. Bit of a toss-up, but if you look at Rus' first win against Kalinina, I don't know what happened there, but it was a 6-1, 6-love, so breadstick bagel match. So I do think that Rus will keep that form and win that match in 3 sets. Then we have another very good match, Sloane Stevens versus Kasatkina. Sloane Stevens had a good first round against a qualifier or a wild card, and Kasatkina had to fight a bit more against Stearns. I would say Sloane Stevens gets through this one in 3 sets. Katie Boulter did start with a win as predicted. I think she can be a dangerous player for this one, and I do believe she will upset Cheng in that round. Raducanu started with a win, and now she has Wong, who got through Cirstea, which was a bit of an upset, to be fair. I do believe in Raducanu, played well, good first match, solid, gave only 5 games, 6-3, 6-2, so more Raducanu wins. Then we have Dodin versus Trevisan, and yeah, that's a tough one as well. It's a coin toss, in my opinion. I would say Trevisan in 3 sets. Pegula, she plays Clara Burrell. Pegula in straight sets. Seems to be in good form as well. Sakari did win easily against the Hibino, so I think she will keep that up against Avanesian. So Sakari straight sets. Kostyuk playing Elise Mertens, tough match, but I do believe in Kostyuk in this tournament. I think she will create the upset against Mertens there. So Kostyuk in 3 sets. Wozniacki won her first match against Magda Linette, but Linette had to retire. And I think she will also beat Timofeeva. Korneva versus Haddad Maya. So Haddad Maya did win against Fruvertova, lost a set. I predicted that could be an upset, but she got through, and I think she will get through Korneva as well. Caroline Garcia did beat Naomi Osaka. I thought Osaka could win that match, but obviously was not the easiest draw for either player. She should keep going now against Frech from Poland. So Garcia in straight sets. Kaya Juvan, Sakharova, don't know much about Sakharova, to be fair. Did beat Putintseva in a 3-set match, but I will go Kaya Juvan, who beat Potapova, only giving 5 games, so she seems to be in great form. Leila Fernandez has a tough one, Alicia Parks. Serena number 2, maybe not gonna get the same achievements, but the style is very similar. I will go Leila Fernandez in 3 sets, but it's a bit of a test for her. Coco Gauff against Caroline Dolehide. I will say Gauff in straight sets. It looked pretty convincing in the first match, 6-3, 6-love against Schmidlova. Ons Jabeur won pretty easily her match, but she has a tough one here. I did talk about Mira Andreeva as an upset alert in my predictions before, and I believe she will win against Jabeur. So that's a 3-setter, but she will win in my prediction. Rakhimova against Parry. Diane Parry has that really nice one-handed backhand. So just for that, I'm going to go with Parry in 3 set. We have Laura Siegemund against Storm Hunter. Hunter beat Irani. Siegemund had to fight against Alexandrova. I will go Storm Hunter in 3 sets. We have Korpach against Krejcikova. Krejcikova, you can never count out anything. Grand Slam pedigree. She should win in 3 sets. Anisimova got through pretty easily in the first round against Samsonova, and should also beat Podoroska, but might be a tougher one, 3 sets. Paula Badosa had a much easier time against Taylor Townsend than I thought she would, and I do believe she will go through Pavlyuchenkova as well, but this is a tough match, and I believe 3 sets. Then we have Churenko against Masarova. That's also a little bit of a coin toss for me. Masarova started really well against Sasnovic. Don't know so much about Surenko, but I believe she, with her seed, can win that match in 3 sets. And then we have Brenda Fruvertova, the talented young Czech player who got through Bogdan in 3 sets versus Sabalenka. And Sabalenka was impervious in the first round against Seidel from Germany, gave her only 1 game. And I think that was the last game before she finished the match. So yeah, 6-love, 6-1. So a Sabalenka win against Fruvertova. So those are my predictions. Pretty long video, but I heard some requests for this type of stuff. Tomorrow I will try to do a racket video, and we have lots of stuff coming up. I'm testing now Diadem Nova version 3. So far so good with that racket. It's a power racket. It's kind of a pure drive. So if you're into pure drive kind of rackets that give you some nice pop for free, check out my upcoming Diadem Nova review. I'm also testing new shoes from Head. I'm testing some Wilson shoes and some other stuff. So there's been a lot of testing happening here. And now it's raining outside. So maybe no tennis tomorrow, but hopefully later in the week. That's it for today. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.